Today I'm doing a little bit of a different type of video. I'm going to take you through the process of how I created these decorative spooky lamps. I think they're the cutest thing in the world. I especially am in love with the skeleton bust one because I use that all year round. And I just wanted everyone else to be able to experience the amazingness that is spooky decorative lamps. I know it makes it a little bit less DIY, but I didn't forge these lamps from clay and sculpt them or anything like that. I purchased both of them at Michael's, which is, if you don't know, an art supply / craft store. They also have a lot, and I mean a lot, of really cute decor pieces. If you're into Halloween season at all, you've probably seen videos of their home decor section circulating online because they just have so many cute things. The skeleton costs $30, but it actually only comes out to about $24. Michael's has a 20% off coupon that's literally always on their website, it's never not there. And there's just a barcode that you can show in store as well to get 20% off. The Jackolantern costs $15, so only $12 with the code. I believe that both of these pieces are categorized as LED Decor. Each of them has a little plastic piece at the bottom with a battery charged LED light. The Jackolantern does come in different designs that you can get, so you don't have to get the Jackolantern, but I thought it was really cute. And the skeleton bust comes in black as well as a cream, more realistically shaded color. So about that little LED insert for both of them, I just popped it out. And for each piece, I got a base that you can screw a light bulb into. For the skeleton, I got a black lamp base on Amazon. It cost $12. I also had to get a separate light bulb for the skeleton base. It's called a tube bulb. I just got it at my local hardware store. For the Jackolantern, I got a clip-in lamp cord, similar to one you would use for a salt lamp or something. It cost $8 and it did come with a little light bulb. I'll put both of the links in the description. Aside from the decorative pieces and the light bases that I got for them, the only other material that I used is acrylic paint. I already had some acrylic, but most of the colors that I used are actually acrylics that I got at Michael's. In addition to the materials, I did use a couple tools. Obviously for the painting, I used brushes. I already have a ton of brushes, but you can get really cheap ones at Michael's if you don't. I think I used an eyelash applicator to pop out the little LED things. I also very briefly used my nail drill. I don't remember exactly because I did this last year, but I think that there was a little bump in the way of me putting the light bulb through the bottom of the skeleton. I just took my nail drill and drilled it off. Now that materials and tools are out of the way, I'm going to take you through how I painted them. So I started with a coat of orange on the inside of the Jackolantern because I didn't want the inside to be white. I wanted it to be orange, like a real pumpkin. This part was surprisingly difficult because obviously you can't get every angle with your brush, so I was sticking it through the eyes and the mouth, just trying to get orange on every surface of the interior of this pumpkin. The good thing about it though is the hardest areas to reach with your paintbrush are also the hardest to see with your eyes. I'm continuing with a base layer of orange around the exterior of the pumpkin. As you can see, it goes on a little bit thin. That's just kind of how acrylics are, and also it's not the best quality acrylic. That's why I'm going to be doing a few different layers. I'm applying the first layer of brown on the stem. I started to add some brown shading around the stem and in between the crevices of the pumpkin. Then I realized the shading wasn't really going to work at this point, so I went over everything with another coat of orange. I also added a second coat of orange to the inside of the pumpkin because I didn't want it to appear streaky when the light was on inside it. I just continued to go in with orange until I was comfortable with the color and coverage. I also went in with a couple different values of brown around the stem to give dimension and shading. The best way to get smooth shading and blending with acrylic paints is to do it in sections. Acrylic paint dries pretty quickly, so if you add all the dark values and then try to go back in and add the light values, the dark values will have already dried and it'll be impossible to blend together smoothly. That's why I started with a couple coats of orange, because that orange is like the middle value. And now, in the later steps, I'm going back in and adding dark and light values. Working in sections around the pumpkin, I'm adding a deeper reddish toned orange into the crevices, or like the cracks that go down the pumpkin. And then I'm blending that into a more yellow toned orange. The shading gives really pretty dimension to each rounded section of the pumpkin. I'm also adding some lighter brown highlights to the stem. I'm going back in with an even yellower toned orange and using that to add the final highlights around the surface of the pumpkin. The result of the painted jack-o'-lantern is a really nice, warm, inviting pumpkin, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. Before painting the skeleton, I had to wipe it down. It was a little bit dusty because I actually got it last year. I got the black skeleton because I knew it would be a lot easier for me to paint. I knew I wanted my skeleton to be purple and pink, so that's the direction we're going here. Since it's black, all the dark tones are pretty much already there, and all you have to do is kind of just blend it into whatever light tones that you want. I'm starting by just doing a pretty rough layer of purple all over, pretty much. I'm not trying to paint like the inside of the bones, I'm just kind of going over the top, so it's pretty easy to just brush purple like over the entire surface of it. The little cracks that were in the skull had some white spots in them, so I did go in with black and fill those in. Then I'm going back and layering more purple. Once I have that good base of purple, I'm gonna go in with some pink. I'm starting with the ribs, and I just went and kind of added pink over the surface of them, and then I realized obviously it's not like nicely blended together. I'm using the neon pink paint mixed with a little bit of purple and putting that over the surface of the ribs because it blends more nicely into that violet, deeper purple shade. Once I'm satisfied with how that's blended, I'm going in with a smaller brush and adding more precise pink highlights. The pink paint is not super opaque, so I'm kind of globbing it on in like little lines and sections in order to get a really vibrant highlight. I'm following the same steps on the head, adding the lighter purple and more pink. And finally, I'm adding the really bright neon pink highlights. I'm adding those highlights to areas that protrude, like the brow bone, cheekbones, the edge of the nose hole thing, the teeth, the jawline. I really wanted the skull part to stand out with the pink highlight. Here's the finished paint job for the skeleton. I think it looks great. I went a lot more relaxed on like the back part of the skeleton because like I felt like that part didn't really matter that much, so I didn't paint it as carefully. All we have to do now is assemble the pieces. For the pumpkin, I got this little clip-in light cord and I clip it in, but I don't push it all the way in. I think it might be common sense, but I feel the need to mention it because it is a mistake I made. It only goes like halfway through, so that part of it is still sticking out. For the skeleton, you just lower it onto the base with the light bulb carefully because light bulbs are delicate, and it just rests perfectly on the base. Here is the finished result, my little masterpieces. I really enjoyed branching out and showing some other artistic creations other than makeup. Let me know what you think, if maybe you might be trying this out. Personally, I think that everyone needs a skeleton lamp in their life. She's so pretty! Even if you don't plan on making one yourself, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, I love you, and I will see you in my next video. The gang's all here! Me and my two friends!